8 years ago, when I was 13, I started my first weight loss journey. The plan was simple: eat as little as I could and skate in my free time to keep my mind off food. I had the dream of getting a six-pack and I chased that dream relentlessly for 3 years. But it never worked. I did everything wrong. Now I maintain a six-pack effortlessly, and honestly, it's kind of hard for me to gain weight. So what changed? Yeah, I gained some muscle, especially in my abs, which helps me look leaner while eating more, but that's not the main reason. The biggest shift, the one that completely flipped my dieting circles, is what I eat. Most people treat weight loss as a temporary phase, but if you want to lose weight and keep it off, you can't eat in that way. That's only sustainable short term. That's just called a diet, and diets fail. What you actually need is to change how you eat for life. And for some of you, that might mean saying goodbye to the chocolate with the coffee or the chips on the weekends. Losing weight is really about finding a balance. Eating foods that are bland enough or filling enough to stop you from overeating, without being so bland you hate them or so filling you get bored of them. The more bland and filling foods you eat, the more you start to like them, and the less you crave the foods that made you fat. It's also about identifying the foods in your diet that seem okay but are actually making you gain fat, and replacing them with lower calorie options you still enjoy. It's normal to push yourself at first, but if the new diet fills you with dread, it's probably a little out of your league for now. Let's look at some examples of how you can scale this depending on where you're starting. Let's start at the peak of ultra-processed eating, the average American diet. According to ChatGPT, the average American drinks a caloric beverage with every meal. So what's a small but meaningful change? You could swap the orange juice in the morning with a sugar-free version mixed with water, or replace one soda a day with a diet version. That might be all someone with a really desensitized food palate can handle at first. And that's fine. The goal is to build up your tolerance for less sweet, less hyperpalatable foods over time. Eventually, maybe you switch to only sugar-free drinks, and maybe you drop those too, depending on how lean you want to get and how disciplined you are. Let me now give you a personal example. My current diet is basically just animal protein with whatever sauce I want, plus some vegetables. If I wanted to lose some weight right now, I'd swap out the nut sauce I've been using. I've been having around 100 milliliters a day, that's 800 calories. If I just switched to barbecue sauce or ketchup, I'd drop about 500 calories a day. That alone would probably get me down 3 kilos or 7 pounds, without changing anything else. And if this sounds depressing to you, if soy tears are running down your chubby cheeks, just remember, processed foods only became common in the last 100 to 150 years. And before that, people still liked eating. I used to maintain single-digit body fat, eating even stricter than now, and I still enjoyed my meals. Your palate will adapt, but only if you give it time. Now, even though diet is the most important part, building muscle plays a huge role too. The more muscle you build, especially in the abs, the leaner you'll look at a higher body fat. I'm not actually that lean right now, but it looks like I am. And I'm eating around 4,000 calories a day. When I started in the gym, my dream wasn't just to be lean. It was to one day have the opposite problem, struggling to eat enough to gain weight. That always seemed like such a cool problem to have, like being too funny or too tall. But when it finally became my problem, I realized it actually sucks. Being full and tired 24/7 from eating 5,000 calories a day, not as fun as it sounds. So yeah, all the tricks I mentioned earlier I use to lose weight. But these days I eat more filling foods just because I feel better eating less. And that's the goal, to get to a place where your diet makes you feel good and keeps you lean. The gym gave me a lot more flexibility in my diet, but it's not a requirement for getting lean. You can also build muscle in other ways, like climbing for example. Still, lifting helped me a ton and I definitely recommend it. Cardio can give you some flexibility too, but it's more limited. You get a nice boost at first, but your body adapts and it starts spending less energy during the rest of your day. So while cardio helps, it's not as powerful long term as it seems at first. I haven't done much cardio in my fitness journey, but if I were to recommend it, it'd be fighting sports. That's the most fun I've had doing cardio. And if no type of cardio interests you, honestly, I wouldn't bother. The number one priority is sustainability. Take small steps and follow the path that you'll actually enjoy. For some of you, just joining a gym or taking a boxing class without even changing your diet is the right move. And some of you will never step foot in a gym or do any form of cardio, and that's okay too. Just remember, if your plan isn't something you can keep doing a year from now, it's probably not the right one. It's not about suffering to get lean, it's about building a lifestyle that gets you there.